Welcome to Swimming Lessons in Dating. Here we are again, episode 6, and we're talking about dating apps today. I'm Cassandra,
I'm Tracey.
and let's dive in.
This is an interesting one.
Yes.
I mean, if we're diving into the deep end at this point,
This is it.
dating apps, it's almost like, is it a sink or swim? It's almost a sink or
Right.
swim. It is like,
Which floaty do you
which
choose?
float? Yeah. I almost need like a life jacket. I need all the things. Okay, me.
All the things
All
for
the
sure.
things.
Do you go for like the unicorn floaty? Do you go for just the just kind of the basic, like, you think about these like lounging
Oh, yeah.
kind of blow up floaties, maybe that's match.com. The unicorn floaty might be Tinder.
Yes. She is correct.
I mean,
She is correct.
or maybe that's like, the pineapple one, or like a
yeah. I mean, I cannot believe how many. I will try to be appropriate.
This is going to be a hot, juicy show. So tune right in. Keep those ears perked open.
So there's a floaty. I was looking at floaties because I was actually going to a pool party.
Yeah.
And there was a giant wiener.
Oh.
But it was like a hot dog wiener. But I'm thinking, what are these things?
I'm so sorry that I just belted out a laugh like that for your precious ears. If you, if you are listening and cannot control the volume, I appreciate that. But that caught me off guard, Tracey.
But then I did find the tank top that said I'm here for the wieners. So.
That is iconic. That is so iconic. And that is not what I pictured in my mind. I did not picture a hot dog in my mind.
Went way past the deep end.
I mean, why shouldn't I?
The pool for that one.
So fun.
I know.
So
it's an adults only pool.
Right, exactly.
Where's the tiki bar?
I mean, really, let's talk about this. What would you say? So, like, I have experienced online dating since 2012, off and on, through like 4 or 5 different relationships, like long-term relationships, and then I would kind of go back out there and like meet people. Mm-hmm. I've met one person organically. The rest of my relationships have been online focused. And, for working professionals, that certainly is a really good way to connect with people. It can be a way to connect with people. And like just how, like, there's so many different strategies out there on how to get the best out of your experience. And that's what we are here to help you with, so that you can eliminate all of the strife and strain and, just it not working out.
I feel like it's just the technology world of where we're in.
Yeah.
In modern dating society right now, everything is technology based.
Everything
is so much on your phone, on your laptop, like on
right.
iPad, whatever. I mean, it's just right at your fingertips. And dating is,
it's there.
The apps are just there. Like,
right.
And it's interesting, and you probably noticed this as well. There are dating app categories for everything under the sun.
Yes.
Age,
religion.
Can't say the word.
Ethnicity.
Yep. Religion.
Sexual orientation.
Yeah. Farming. Christian mingle.
Yeah. Lifestyle.
There's so many different specific ones that you can.
That's right.
Yeah.
Income.
Relationships. There is
one. There is one called Millionaire Match. I saw it on a comedy show episode. I was watching, what's his name? Matt Rife. I was watching one of his comedy show episodes, and there was someone in the audience, and he asked how they met. And she said Millionaire Match. And I was like, interesting.
I need to Google it and find that.
Yeah. Well, so I can give you the lowdown on that. So stay tuned. So, for sure, there are just so many different options out there. What would you say are your top 3?
Oh, sites?
Yes.
Oh, man. Facebook dating. I like to go for the free ones,
Yes.
not gonna lie,
Right. I mean,
because
like,
I've done the paid ones,
right.
and they're not the
Like
potential candidates in the swimming
yes.
pool are literally their quality does not seem any different than the free sites.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna be
That's like,
honest with
that is
that.
like really good. That's
Yeah.
really good feedback. Um,
In my example as
right.
well, as far as like I've done Christian Mingle, I'm telling you, that's not any different than Tinder in a lot of ways. Like,
That is really fascinating. So,
yeah, it was disappointing. It was disappointing for
oh,
me in a lot of ways because my faith is important to me, and I really
right.
felt like, ooh, I would really love to connect with someone that matches my faith, and I
Right.
was really excited about that, same as I am, and disappointing. It just
Yeah.
felt like it was kind of in the same. Like the results I was getting was the same as any other dating app. So,
Right.
so Facebook dating is a free one. So I've gone for that one. I really enjoyed that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I did Bumble,
Yeah.
and what was the last one I did? You did that one too. It wasn't Tinder. It was
Hinge.
another Hinge. Hinge was another one. No good results anywhere yet.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I think like you've been on dates, like you
Yeah.
have had
Oh yeah.
dates
I've had a
off
lot of
of
dates. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like finding quality connections, people you're compatible with, people
Mm-hmm.
you're attracted to because like what I have
Mm-hmm.
found is that I have been like I've had compatibility with a lot
Yeah.
of people like really good again, really good people out there that are just like
Mm-hmm.
fun and
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, you just don't feel the spark, or you go out like one time and they say they want to see you and then they ghost
Yeah.
you. I
Yeah.
mean, so that like, so it's like,
Yeah.
we'll get into all these topics, but yeah, there are like, I would say the most, I guess, success that I've had
Mm-hmm.
have been recently. I'm gonna say it.
She's saying it.
I'm
Get
gonna,
your
I'm gonna,
notepads.
okay. Like,
Hold on.
and really, what is success? Like,
Make it a roll.
success to me,
Hold on to the edge.
success to me would mean like a quality date, like
Mm-hmm.
not, I can't even say it. Um, a
Is it
quality
X
date.
rated? She can't say it 'cause it's X
No, like,
rated.
so I have had most of my dates off Tinder. And I have
We couldn't be X
here's an
rated.
interesting, like, this is interesting. So it's known historically for hookup.
Hookups.
Like it's known for hookup. And have I experienced that? Yes. But I also have experienced people looking for hookups, even though I say I don't want it. Even though like I talk about it and I set boundaries over and over and over again. If I do that, like you can still find people who are just wanting to tell you what you want to hear,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
To get you out on the date and then come over to my house on the second date. No.
Yeah. Not doing
The
that.
answer is no. That is not like, what I want to see. Now, have I bent the rules on that in the past? Yes, I have. But like that has been for my own. I can like do that if I want to,
We are
right? Like,
adults.
and we are adults and we
Yeah.
can choose when to do that and when to pull those boundaries back, follow those rules of my own. Like there's no judgment. There is no,
It's skipping on the wiener floating.
oh my gosh. So, I mean, but really, like, it's been really interesting to me that that has happened. And then I find that Bumble is another good one because you have to be the one to initiate
Initiate.
and
Yeah.
make conversation, and that gives you some time.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want a little bit of time, like, oh, maybe this guy, like,
Yeah.
um, you know,
Mm-hmm.
click the like or the check button on Bumble, and then they have to match with you, which is like, oh, they have a little spark back, and then they go up into the little like section on top, and then you're like, do I really
Do I
want to
really
talk
want
to
to talk to this person?
so it
Yeah.
gives like layers of like, you know, selectivity, I think.
I feel like Bumble was one though that it didn't seem that there was a lot of info on the profiles.
Yes,
And
Bumble
that
doesn't
that one,
give a lot. Bumble doesn't
yeah,
give a lot. Hinge doesn't give a lot at
yeah.
all. Hinge is like the lowest like ability to show who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But and I think Bumble does too. You can put video and you could like put you could put videos of you talking on
Mm-hmm.
there if you
Mm-hmm.
want to, which I think is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Hinge does give that profile ability too to put your audio in there, which I do take
Mm-hmm.
advantage of. I think showing your audio, like showing your voice,
Mm-hmm.
actually can help people connect with you. So, and then, all those things. But, and then
Mm-hmm.
Tinder, like, and then some of the apps with Tinder,
Tinder is just wild, wild.
Tinder is the wild, wild
Well, okay.
west.
I feel that there's probably way more wild apps out there.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
absolutely.
sure.
Yes, 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 absolutely.
SugarDaddy.com. I've
Ooh.
never heard of it, but I know it exists. And there's Sugar Mama.
I mean,
Yeah,
to each her own,
that's
right?
correct.
And
That's
so,
correct.
yeah, so I would say Bumble, and then let's talk about Match.
Match, I had my share of being on Match.
Yes, me
It was a
too.
paid site. I don't
Yes.
think you can do much
Y-
for free.
Not
There is
not a
free, but you
lot.
can't
Yeah.
see. There's a lot of things that
Yeah.
you'll match with people, but their faces
You
are
can't,
fuzzy.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't
You can't do a whole lot
tell.
without paying for
Right.
Match.
Right. That's how they rope you in.
Yeah, yeah. I That's the one I definitely had more hopes of at one point with Match because it was a paid site and I felt like maybe there was more quality there.
Right. Right.
But I haven't that was a lot of years ago since I was
Right.
on Match. So.
Yes. I've not had a lot of success on Match, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I've gone out with anybody
Yeah.
that I have found
Facebook dating was
on Match.
probably my
Facebook dating.
favorite. Was probably one of my
Okay.
favorites.
Yes. Let's
Yeah.
go back to Facebook
Yeah.
dating because
Yeah.
it is
It's
free.
free.
The other real positive about Facebook dating would be that you can see if people are friends with your connections and friends.
Yeah. Yes.
I know we
Mm-hmm.
had
We've had some
we've
mutuals.
had some mutuals that have come up, and just being able to bounce off some like validation from people that you're connected with. If it does get to that level,
Yeah.
then you can kind of know whether like in the same sort of circle as I am, and really getting a sense of that. And you can find them on the profile of the people that you're friends with and get a little bit more information.
Absolutely.
Which
like it's called stalking. Just saying.
Right? So I call it research.
Okay, technically.
Because everything is public, right? Like if you're going on Facebook dating and you select that ability to show if you are friends with people, you're putting yourself out there. And so that is like for me, that is ruled out. Like I've actually been able to rule out certain people, and like just don't waste your time. Like you can do certain things in an ethical way where you are not stalking. Because I'm gonna tell a story, and this just happened to me yesterday.
I like stories.
This just happened to me yesterday. So like we talk about the apps. Let's talk about safety for just a moment with the apps here. I am a public figure. I have a business. I am out in public. I have a lot of good connections in the community. And I am who I am. So if you like Google me, you can Google you.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like these sort of things can put us in situations that are potentially unsafe.
We're public in,
right.
We can find us easy from our professional roles.
Right.
Like
exactly. So that can bring unwelcomed advances and just random people texting you and asking if you're so-and-so from Match or so-and-so from this app. So I just had some random person reach out to me on my cell phone number. And they said, "Is this Cassandra from Match?" And I said, "Nothing." What did I do? I did the research, and I have a background check app that I use. You put in the number, it tells you the name of the person who's using the number, so you can validate if they're a real person or not. which is something else to talk about. So this is real. This is like, if you're going to do this, if you're going to do online dating, your own safety, you
Mm-hmm.
have a right to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you are safe.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this information is public. If someone's giving you their phone number,
Mm-hmm.
you can find any sort of information
Yeah.
online about people when they get your phone number, when you
Mm-hmm.
get their phone number. You have a
Mm-hmm.
right to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I disclose to a lot of my dates that I even check background, like criminal records and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. I have prevented myself from being exposed to certain people
Mm-hmm.
who I would never in a million years want to sit down and sit across from,
Exactly.
for multiple reasons, whether it be, criminal history, maybe they're not divorced. People who say they're divorced on these apps and they are
Mm-hmm.
not divorced.
Yeah. That.
That is not
Mm-hmm.
truthful. It
Mm-hmm.
it is like, it's just gross. It's not a way to behave, and it's a waste of my time.
And
So
that is, I think that is why there's nothing wrong with doing the stalking or the research, however you want
right,
to say it,
yes, yes, right, yes,
playfully you say stalking,
yes, right,
but in
yes, right,
reality
right.
it is making sure that you're keeping yourself safe. And I know from my experiences, and I know that you've talked about this as well, people aren't who they say they are sometimes.
That's right.
Not all the time. I mean, we
Yeah,
come across great men too,
that's right.
but there are some out there, they are not who they say they are.
They are scam artists,
Yes, the
or
last names aren't the real last
they're
names.
not, their first names aren't even the
Yeah,
real first names.
exactly.
And they also hide. I've had multiple people
Mm-hmm.
put the wrong city
Yeah,
that they were
yeah.
in, and specifically to meet women from that
Mm-hmm.
area. So they weren't even being honest about that. And so just making sure that you ask some of these questions.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you get, and I get it. I understand. I could do the same thing,
Absolutely.
like to protect myself. I
Mm-hmm.
totally understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But there is, a level of honesty, right? Like when you get into a relationship, you want someone to be honest with
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm.
And that can tell you a lot about certain things about them if they are not.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really unfortunate.
It is. It
So,
is. I mean, I think that is the. I think that could be a frustration part to the dating apps. There's a
yes.
lot of great to it.
There is a
There
lot.
is a
It's
lot of
really fun. It
there's
could
a
be
lot of
fun.
frustration with it
Yeah.
because when you start unraveling truths
Yeah.
that or you're blindsided by something,
Right. Exactly.
or you're shocked by something, or someone drops a bomb on you that you're just like, whoa, we've been talking for months now, and you just now drop this bomb on me. So,
Yes.
you're
Right.
investing your
Right.
time, you're investing
That's
your
right.
emotions, you're investing your life, you're sharing things,
Right.
and all of a
Exactly.
sudden it's like, boom,
Right.
you know,
Right.
the rug is like
And yeah, I think that, so that safety, all the safety issues, making sure that you are watching your back. A lot of these apps have the option to do video chatting.
oh, that's a big one.
That is a big plus when you think one of the profiles may be a scam.
Scam. Mm-hmm.
Because when you say, yep, I require video dates, or video chats, I don't like to call them video dates because it's like super low pressure. You're just vibe checking. But like, I require video chats before I go out with someone, and you just automatically eliminate.
Well,
Right?
I can definitely admit to the fact that in the dating world, even with this, I mean, I'd say in the last year and a half,
Yeah.
probably, there was times where I didn't even bother to ask the last name, and I didn't do my research.
Yeah.
And
Right. Well, I mean,
I
like
took a risk at it.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
would I recommend it? I would recommend to do your research.
Yeah. Yep.
It saves you time. It's a safety issue of things.
Right. Right. Exactly.
You really need to know that if you're going into something with good intentions.
That's right.
You want to do your best to know that they're going in with their intentions being the same.
Right. And I think if you are dating intentionally, if you want a long-term relationship, which some of us don't, like we're just on different paths, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if
Mm-hmm.
you are going into a date, it is with an intent that they may be someone that you go on multiple dates with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And as a woman who has historically experienced trauma, and I help women heal trauma every day, and
Mm-hmm.
you do as
Mm-hmm.
well,
Mm-hmm.
that we hear stories, you hear really bad, unsafe
Mm-hmm.
situations.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so that is something I am not willing to put myself in a situation to be in,
Mm-hmm.
even
Mm-hmm.
when you um, check all the boxes.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
can still, like, there can be this, like, you just got to trust your
Yeah.
intuition,
Just your gut feels.
trust your gut and follow that. Be like, always meet in a public place, always drive a separate car, like, like for the first
There's
date kind of
so
stuff,
many things.
which
Yes.
we'll
So
get
many
to,
safety
that
things.
more
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah.
like, it certainly is a very important step in this whole process. And yeah.
One of the parts of dating apps is bios, right? And
Yes. Let's talk about that.
the interesting thing is I do, you only get so many words you get to type in your bio. And I've
Match
had
is
to,
4,000
right.
or whatever it is. Like, I write a whole novel.
I did that, but then I thought, you know what? What are some really big points that I want to put
Yes.
out there
Right.
of who I am
Right.
and what I'm
Absolutely.
looking for,
Right.
But have you found when you have gone on dates with someone, they had no clue what your bio said? They really were swiping on your picture and what and your appearance, and really did not read your bio. And
Yes,
for
that
me,
has happened.
like I kind of feel it's frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, because you spend time on that. I think that women and men, I don't want to generalize, but what I have found
Mm-hmm.
is that men typically are more visual. They
Mm-hmm.
look at you and they're like, yes. And
Mm-hmm.
then, like, and I actually will say that the men that I've gone on dates with actually have been more inquisitive. They have asked more questions about compatibility. Um, but and some are deeper than others. Some want that deeper connection, you can tell,
Mm-hmm.
and then others just want that more surface level, like they're not maybe quite ready to get into that, which is that's okay too,
Mm-hmm.
because I'll be the one asking the deeper questions.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
And that's okay, and that can wait for date 1, 2, or 3
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I think that those bios, and again, Hinge is like the worst.
yeah. I mean, bios are something important to me because that is a number one thing that
Right.
okay, I can see the attraction,
Right.
right?
Yep.
And obviously the attraction's got to be there. That's step
Yes.
one.
Yeah,
It's got to be there.
totally, completely.
But then starting to look for things that I know are already going to weed someone out. If
Totally.
they have younger kids, I'm not there in my life anymore to
Yes,
want to raise someone
exactly.
else's kids. And it's just
That's
not
right.
me anymore.
I am with
So
you.
I look at the
Yes.
age of kids,
Right. Yep.
I look at that. I look at are they a smoker? Not
Right.
that's a
Not
that's a deal breaker for
that's a
me.
not like,
Deal
yeah,
breakers for
same.
me. Heavy drinker or at the bar
Yes.
a lot.
Right.
Deal
Nope.
breaker for me.
Lifestyle doesn't
Yeah.
match.
Distance. How far is this
Yes.
going to be? Because
Right.
at the end of the day, I want it to be realistic that we
Absolutely.
can have. I don't want a weekend boyfriend.
Right.
I want to be able to like still
Yeah,
during the week maybe
absolutely.
have dinner or do something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And have that time where it's like, hey, you want to come over after work and have dinner
Yes.
together or sit
Yes.
on the patio for a while? Yeah, but I want
Right.
to drive 2 hours
Right.
each way,
Yes. Or
right? And
more.
yeah, each way.
Yeah. I
I'm not doing
mean,
it, right?
yeah, that can be tough.
I'm looking for a career. Are they one that travels so much that they're not home much?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
someone that drives over the road all week long,
Right.
not just weekends together.
Yes.
Some people that may work perfectly.
Right.
That wouldn't work for me.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
I do want a little bit more of that time.
Right.
And then what are their dating intentions?
Ooh.
For me, these are some things that
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
I want to be able to see some of these things.
Right.
Because right off the bat, or if they're short. I mean,
So
a good
yes,
one for me.
Tracy. Yeah,
I'm tall. Like,
Tracy's tall.
yeah.
I'm more petite, and so but I'll tell you. So
I mean, I don't want to weed everyone out that's shorter than me,
I
but man,
uh,
it's
there's
hard for me, and
something
I just feel
there
like
is
it's
something there, and that is actually biological. I just saw a um some sort of a podcast episode where there were two men, and the man, like one of these guys was, I can't remember what he, maybe a psychologist, and he was talking about the biological reasons that we need someone to be taller than us. And it's about like preservation and protection,
mm-hmm,
like literally. It's not about emotional, it's
mm-hmm,
about the biological connection to our genetic line and what protected us from
mm-hmm,
predators.
mm-hmm.
And so, I'm not saying it doesn't matter. Like sometimes it just doesn't matter. So
Right.
like height
Yeah.
will like it
Yes.
does, that's not going to say, that doesn't mean that this guy is going to protect you emotionally or even physically.
Mm-hmm,
But like
mm-hmm.
that is a factor. And I totally agree. Even me, like I can't date someone that's 5'5".
Yeah. I just
I can't date someone that's 5'6" or even 5'7". Um, and I have, like, I actually have been on dates with men who were a little shorter, and just like it's different, right?
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
so, but I also can't go for like 6'6". It doesn't. It
Well,
just
right. It just
doesn't. It
would
doesn't
iffy.
work.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. It's just,
That one's not like a super deal breaker compared to all
yeah,
the other ones,
right,
but
yeah.
it's something I notice.
If
I mean,
there's
I noticed
like,
that in their bio.
yeah, right,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. That's a big deal for me. One of the things that is really important, like, are all those things actually, those are all really great points. And then for me, it's activity level. So if someone doesn't have, like if they're not taking care of themselves, if they say they don't ever work out, or like they're not very active, that is important. That's an important thing to me. And then, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to add to that, because spiritual beliefs are interesting, because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people will say, for example, that they're Christian, but they haven't been to church in 10 years, or they actually are more spiritual. So I have found that that isn't even accurate
Yeah.
sometimes,
Right.
unless they put it right in their bio. If they
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
I'm looking for a Christian woman or
Mm-hmm.
someone who believes in God,
Mm-hmm.
and that's their
That's their
prerogative. It's
prerogative.
like,
Yeah.
and I need to send those profiles to you.
Mm-hmm. Good, because
So,
I have had a hard time finding
right,
that was something on a bio or something that was true,
right,
or
exactly,
existed
right. They can
within our
say it.
matches.
Yeah, they can say it, but maybe
Mm-hmm.
don't follow even the
Yeah.
values. And so, and then I've met people who are spiritual and have really incredible value systems
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
like really good boundaries and are very kind and gentlemen and all these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so sometimes that isn't really reflective. So,
Tell me a little bit about the algorithms. Tell me a little bit
right.
about that in the dating
Okay,
apps.
so there is a woman who, this is where I learned this. So there's a woman from Wisconsin, and her name is Jenny Young, and she has started this movement. It's called the Burned Haystack Dating Method. So you can go on social media, and she also has an article on HuffPost that I'll post for your reading pleasure after this podcast. She talks about this online dating approach where your profile is like a standout, it's unique, it's something different. And creating that witty and engaging profile, something like that shows your humor, or something like that. And then she has stated that there are specific algorithms in the apps, which, I mean, this is like just out there. You can research it.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they do is that when you click, 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 like no, 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 and you swipe left, when you do that, it just recycles those profiles over again. So you have to actually block these people if you don't ever want to see them again. So like, let's say you have like 50 matches in Bumble, you've got to block each and every one of them so that like, let's say you deactivate your profile or something and you pop back on. You could be, well, I don't know about that. I actually don't know about that. But the point is, when you're in the app, if you block them, you won't ever see them again because you've assessed, you're like, no, I am not interested in this
Not
person.
interested.
So that eliminates all the time and effort into, again, like how much time and effort you can just spend on recycling through the same sort of people. So that is like, that actually has been really effective for me. And then she also recommends minimizing scrolling. So you can get like totally wiped out and like the energy level can be like zero. If you're like, think about like what that does to your, what it does to your brain.
Okay.
So when we do that, so if you limit yourself to like, let's say 5-10 minutes at a time, and then she says to prioritize messaging. So once you find a potential match, have some meaningful conversations. Don't just talk about the weather. Don't just talk about how was your day. It's like that is so surface level. It is not a good way to assess if someone is a good potential date for you. Invest some time. Don't just look at pictures. See what sort of communication style they have. And then the other one is avoiding notifications. Turn those damn notifications off because it's so distracting and it's so, it can be consuming and they can wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can wait for you to have time to talk to them. So, yeah, that's a great method. And the whole point is to find your needle in the haystack.
Yes, yes.
So I think that's great.
Good episode. I definitely think that dating apps. It's very common. It's probably the number one way that people are out there in the dating world.
That's right.
Trying to make a match, trying to connect.
Right.
You just have to have fun with it. Test out different dating apps. See what you find that might work for you. But
yeah, exactly.
again, you got to be smart about what your boundaries are, what you're looking
That's
for,
right.
and how to stay safe.
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
Nice.
So thank you for joining us today. And in the next episode, we're going to talk about red flags and green flags.
Ooh, grab some wine and popcorn. All right.